order. Okay, Donna Susek,
Here.
Walter Crucell,
Here.
Gina
It has
Sakala,
rights.
Here.
Denis Mangini.
No, Cindy's been replaced by Bob Crisati.
Okay, Cindy is off by Bob, and I do see Bob Crisati on, I believe.
Put your
Yes,
camera on.
here.
Okay, Marie Peisner is not going to be on tonight. She emailed us. Tim Neville,
Here.
Scott Ryder, Doug McSellen,
Here.
Tina LeBlanc, Charlotte Riley,
Oh, I didn't do anything.
You'll be coming in late.
Bethany Olette,
Here.
I have to touch the screen.
Alyssa Everett,
Here.
Jaime Cisneros, Jeff Leonowitz,
Here.
Chris Cycli.
Here.
Oh, I see you on. I also see Samantha D. Agostino is on. I'm not sure who you are, Samantha.
I'm with CSG.
Okay.
Oh, I don't have any mic.
Okay.
All right. Can I get a motion to approve the minutes from December 10th, 2020?
Second.
Second by Walter, all in favor?
Aye.
Show of hands.
I'm in favor.
Anybody's-
This is Tina LeBlanc.
Okay, Tina's in favor. And we probably have one abstention from Bob. And Doug, you abstaining?
Okay.
You weren't there on the 10th, correct?
Yeah, so I'll abstain.
Okay,
I'm an extension, obviously.
yes, I already said you, Bob. Thank you.
Yep, thank you, Donna. I was having a little technical difficulty, but we're all good now.
Good, much better. I like it much better when I can see the people. So, all right, special guests, none. And we're gonna, Chris Cycli, you want to take the Henry Barnard updates, phase 1, 2, and 3?
Sure. No update phase 1 or phase 2. Phase 3, later this evening, you'll have a revised invoice from JHS, revised invoice number 2, and revised change order number 1. We had to clear up some math issues, so that is revised. The pipe extension for the boiler is hopefully should be installed in the next week or two, weather depending.
Okay,
And then we will have, once that's done, we'll have a final invoice from JHS.
okay.
Not like a blood test. The pinch goes in and then out and then stuff.
There's a lot of feedback
All
coming
right.
from someone. It's
There I am.
Not quite sure who it is.
somebody's not muted, and there's a lot of feedback.
Hey, Chris?
Okay.
Chris?
Yes. Yep.
Yeah, this is Doug. On the requisition, the items that are allowances, I noticed they build them in full. Doesn't an allowance mean it could go up to that amount and it could be less?
Yeah, but they were unused. That's why they're billing them as credits. They're just crediting it back.
Oh, they're credits. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, they're unused.
Okay,
And that was the confusion with the change order that was approved at the last meeting. Only had one of the credits on there, and the invoice had both of the credits on there. So we just had to make both of them say the same thing, essentially. So that's why we're approving the revisions tonight.
gotcha. All right, Chris, thanks.
Sure.
Okay, energy performance contract, any update on the third-party reviewer?
Yes, actually, an opinion was issued from the town attorney right before Christmas after our last meeting. So that's in the hands of finance, and that brings us to the parts of talking to the leasing company. So probably more to come very shortly, but it looks favorable.
Okay,
And then I got one last one. Honeywell's coming out Friday to go poke around the annex for energy opportunities over there, and I'll have a report from them after our site review. And after that, I will share it with the committee. And if you would like to have Honeywell on as a presenter, I'd be more than happy to extend the invitation.
well, we probably should, because without everything that we've seen in the master plan, should that go through at Tuesday night's meeting, we're going to see a lot more activity at the annex, and it would be really nice to get some savings as we move forward. Our best savings is always lighting, but any savings is good savings, water savings, anything like that. Okay, so next on the agenda is Clean Energy's been working on getting 3 or 4 places where we would like Green Bank to look at possible solar locations. We all have to remember that these have to be buildings that we plan to use and buildings that have new roofs, because most of their installations are roof installations. So I'm going to turn over to Melissa. Go ahead. Unmute yourself, Melissa.
Okay. Yeah, I'll start and Donna, you'll help me. So the
Yep.
Green Bank Municipal Assistance Program does no cost, no obligation site assessments and makes recommendations for cost-effective solar. And they offer a power purchase agreement, which is where they own the panels and they sell us the power. We're under no obligation to accept that recommendation. And we have the site assessment and the analysis of the potential solar on those buildings. So Donna has discussed this whole thing with leadership and, gotten their okay to just bring in this data so that we can make intelligent recommendations. It's all we have to do is tell them where the buildings are. We don't have to do any staff work or anything. And I think it will be very, very valuable to give us a sense of what our possibilities are. So Donna, if you can refresh everyone's memory about the buildings that you were thinking are the most likely. There's 3 or 4 that,
Okay.
All
right, so Henry Barnard, the original building, has a brand new roof. I think that one should be highly considered. Enfield High has a new roofing system. And I would like to look at the Jablonski, but that would have been for ground mount for the canopies and things like that.
They can do that.
They could do that.
Mhm.
Okay. Anywhere we like, well, right now we're looking, with the Jablonski, it's going to be pretty close to the police. So I guess that site for canopy installation. And I'm open to the 4th one if we want to go with 4. If the Henry Barnard, pans out and it actually is a positive, location for this, we have the Eli Whitney and all the other schools that'll come online and all become, potential sites for Green Bank. But we can't ask them to look at it until we have, I think, a proper roof.
It's the same with JFK.
Yeah, but actually,
Yeah.
that's something we can discuss with them. Donna, I think you did have a more fully baked list. And they
We had JFK on it, but I'm really hesitant because it's still in construction under the grant system.
Right.
And
But
that has to go through audit.
All we're doing now is collecting data. And they are more than a year ahead in booking to actually do anything. So anyway, whatever buildings you all feel comfortable with having that data collected, what is the solar potential of this roof real estate when it is in good enough shape to go forward. It's a completely separate negotiation process to decide whether we're actually going to do anything.
Yeah, Donna, it would make sense to do JFK right now, at least for the data part, at least.
Okay.
'Cause that's
Yeah.
a huge roof. That's going to be equivalent to, Enfield High type area.
Right.
Well,
so
that's what
I
we're looking
that.
for the committee to feed in on, what they think.
Right. But
The problem with JFK is it's not as unrestricted as it used to be. They're gonna have air handling units up on top of those wings, and that will block them off from being able to use them for solar, so. The
Okay, but we
new,
could present, I mean, that
Correct.
design is approved, right?
pardon me?
That design is approved. What's going to happen is
Yes,
clear.
it is. They're
Yeah.
building it.
So, yeah, so we can provide that information to them.
Oh, yeah.
And all they're doing is saying, if you wish to go forward, here's what the power production would be.
And they'll
here's-
actually tell you if it's not a good location. I mean.
Exactly.
Yeah, and that'd be an easy one. All you need is a copy of the construction drawings, and they should be able to pull the data off of that. So it should be,
Exactly.
right. But are you sure we're not going to run into any problems with the fact that it's still under construction and we have a referendum?
It would happen after that.
But all this is an analysis. It's not even a proposal.
No,
So-
I know that. I guess I'm on board with doing JFK too, because I guess it makes sense. It's going to be a newer roof, but it's going to be 3 to 4 years before we can put it on there. By
Okay.
the time JFK is done, and then I guess the final audit's done. What did Enfield High take? That final audit, I felt like. took forever.
So
And
Jay,
I went pretty quick, I think.
Mhm. I mean, when we reach to them, if there are questions or concerns or timing factors that members of the committee have about any of these buildings, I can spell that out in a memo and say, are you comfortable? Is it appropriate for you to do this assessment in light of where we are with these renovation processes? They may, just say no, but we can put it out there and discuss it.
Yeah.
Alcorn's,
Worst
Go
case,
ahead.
worst case, we don't do anything with it, or we have to wait. But at least we'll have the analysis to see if it's worth doing.
Is
Okay.
it- is
So
there
we
any-
got that one.
excuse me, is there any criteria that has to be followed, that it has to be a new roof to get this, for Green Bank to do an analysis?
It has
Because-
to not be like terminally deteriorating roof. It has to be a viable roof for solar, not necessarily brand new.
Well, I still think that, as a fourth or a fifth possibility, you should really be looking at the annex also. That's gonna be a heavily used, building. And it's a great area for solar.
Makes sense to me.
I
And
I don't
again-
mind asking about it, but the roof is probably 20 years old. That's the problem. Donna, you would know better than I, but
No, I've been thinking, this, Bob, is what we're up against is
Yeah.
that, and Melissa's telling us they're a couple of years out, but I mean, we're a couple of years out doing any of our roofs.
that's right.
Yeah.
It's like,
Well,
we're,
It-
the
it doesn't-
Alcorn would
doesn't
be a
hurt
great
to-
one because I'm sure it
Yeah.
has a huge electricity, used with all the IT equipment that's.
Well, it was just a thought, I'm getting my, bearings back here with the group. So, I mean, since I've, been off the group, as far as the roofs are concerned with, you've got a couple of, projects completed, but, we're still finishing up, the other 2 elementary schools. And, it was just a thought, to put on the list.
It's not,
just a thought.
we can
Doesn't
look,
hurt.
right, like Melissa's saying, we can look at it and they can say to you, this is a great spot, but you need a new roof. You
Yep.
can't put
Right.
those-
Yeah. Let me draft a memo to them and get your approval on it that identifies the buildings And also the questions and this, the circumstances around whether it's appropriate to assess it now or what. And then Emily Basham, who runs this program at the Green Bank, is just the most helpful, low key, willing to work with you kind of person. So, I've heard in previous discussions, what we don't want to do is go into any scenario that would eat up staff time or obligate us in any way. But let me just see, with this list of buildings properly noted in my sophisticated files, what she recommends and what kind of time frame.
Right, because if,
Right.
Barnard, if that one pans out, I mean, we could be doing that one and then Eli Whitney and any of the other schools as we go down the road.
Yep.
And do them.
Okay, let me open up that dialogue.
Because we might get a little pushback over solar panels on
Melissa,
any more comments?
Yes.
I have a question.
Go ahead,
Did you
Betsy.
say they would also consider ground mount?
Yes.
Would we want to consider the land that the shelter's on, since it's not really viable for much if we do move
Oh,
it,
yeah, for the
or the master plan?
Bethany, that's an excellent suggestion. And also the WPCA would be a great, I don't know how much electricity they use down there, but that would be a good location.
Okay. Let me reach out to them, give them a heads up that we're working on something, describe these properties and what the circumstances are and, our questions and concerns, make sure that there's, zero impact on funding applications or anything of that sort. And then bring it back to you guys one more time, but get us onto their calendar.
Okay. Sounds great, Melissa. Thank you.
Cool.
Transfer station, any updates?
Yes, I got a quick update. The design is finalized. The perk tests have passed. Donald and Ken are just ironing out a few items. Everything's on schedule and it's looking good to go. So won't be much longer.
Okay, now that's going to go to the budget at CIP time.
That would be correct. Once the design and all the costing and stuff.
Right. Now, this is me. I'm really fussy about this because there'll be like certain things like, I guess water and septic will be one part of it, and then the rest of the design, because for me, the most important thing is that we get proper facilities out there.
Yeah, I believe that was the intention, doing
Good.
the scale house with the water and the sanitation as part of the first set of improvements. I know we've talked about multiple phases, but I'll push that along towards Donald and Ken to confirm that notion. But from last we spoke, that seems to be the big push on this initial phase, getting water and sanitation there.
I think that's really good. Go ahead, Walter.
Jeff, are we gonna get a final look at that, or look at the final plans before you proceed, just so we can give it our blessing?
I don't see a problem with that. I can definitely convey that to Donald, and once everything's been finally designed and all the red lines are done, I'm sure he'd be willing to present the plans and get everybody up to speed on where we are.
Yeah,
Because this was Doug's little baby, so I want to make him happy, so.
Absolutely. I'll pass that note along. I don't see that to be a problem.
Okay, next thing, G, master plan.
So
We need like a final report so we can all, we all gave them our blessing to go show this to the council, and, it seems like our staff has picked up on it, the town managers picked up on it. We're gonna see a lot of things at budget. We're gonna see the consolidation plan come before the council. We maybe would be nice to have like some document that was actually finished, or.
So we did see a draft copy of the cost analysis and the final report from BL. Donald took a real good review at it. He did point out some errors and some other issues that we wanted to have ironed out before it became, fully public. So they're reviewing it, and I believe it's due back to us tomorrow, actually. So hopefully it looks good and we can put it on, put it out to committee before next meeting.
That'd be great.
Okay. Later on in the agenda, but communication. That out there? No,
I don't think so.
because I think it would be nice if, because he has the web page and everything
Yeah.
else, if we just put a link in
Donna, you're
so that
cutting
people
out.
can, click on the agenda and click on link and get there, because I'm finding that people can't find.
Donna, try to turn your video off because you're breaking in and out.
I'm sorry, to my microphone.
Scott emailed us all. He had internet issues. He couldn't get in.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he logged on earlier and it was just spinning. And so he texted and said that he couldn't
So,
get in.
all right. Oh, all right.
Because he was on earlier.
We'll have to take issue
Yeah, Donna, I can't hear anything that you're saying.
with, I can't hear anything.
Me neither.
I'm saying, okay.
Donna, we keep losing you.
Okay. All right. Okay,
You're
Walter,
back.
since they're losing,
Donna,
oh, I don't want to, I'm back. Okay. Yes. Am I
Yes, you're back.
back?
you're freezing though. Your screen is frozen
Okay.
now
Screen is
though.
freezing, yeah.
You're kind of back.
All right, so we're going to put a link in. Okay, so shut off the video. All right. Fine. Eli Whitney, phase 1.
So the grant was submitted.
We received the fund.
Samantha, no, we didn't receive the funds.
Forward.
Samantha submitted the grant application last week for that and for Eli Whitney and for Hazardville, both for phase 1. Now we just need to wait to hear from the state in February. I'm working with Gary to get
Can I just
the,
have it in a timely fashion?
what's that?
I think she said that we have it in as a timely fashion.
There's a total.
Yes, we got it
That's
in.
very
We got it
nice.
in by the 10th.
Okay, great.
Yep.
Tina, you're
Well, I'm
freezing as well.
I'm working with Gary Harrison, the security director, to finalize the school security plans, and we'll get those signatures over to the state as soon as I get them. So we should hear something
Okay,
probably,
we don't want to have that happen again. Thank you.
right. We should hear something probably mid-February from the state.
All right. Item C, recommendations that presented to the council. Did everybody get a chance to?
They did a great,
Donna, when I can hear you, you sound like you're in fast forward. It's awesome. I can't hear 90% of what you're saying.
hey Donna,
I'm
I'm sure you,
really sorry. I think
There's a lot of glitching happening, yeah.
Same, it's your connection, Donna.
oh,
Hey, Scott's here.
normally I don't have any trouble
Again.
with. Okay.
Walter, why don't you just take over since we can't hear
Yeah, I
you?
guess I'm gonna have to. All right, so she was talking about the I guess what was presented to the council that they did last Monday.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Tim.
I started tonight. I thought they did a great job. I was particularly pleased with how receptive the council was to the presentation. I thought the town manager did a great job. What we were looking for was a selling pitch of all the work that everybody's done, and I think it came through loud and clear. Do you know whether they've gotten that 40-page document out yet? Is it posted yet? That's the only thing I was looking for. He said it was going to be posted the next day. So if we could get a copy of that, so just to look at, I'd like it.
Gina, you have any update on that?
You mean what Chris presented?
Chris presented and said there was a 40-page document with the nitty-gritty, the details, nuts and bolts of it. He said it was going to be posted the next day. But you
I
guys,
don't know if that's been posted. to
No, the
website or not.
13-page one was,
I'm just going by what he said, but I'd just like to see the details.
the 40-page one will be posted
Because Gina
on
was asking
approval of the
questions about,
council. Back in,
I thought he said he was going to post it on the manager's website. I may be wrong.
the 13
Donna, we keep losing you. Why don't you try coming in by
page
phone?
one.
Yeah, Donna, every time you start a sentence, when you get to the actual answer, it gets cut off. So you're like, I think he said he would post that on the.
Yeah, I don't actually
It's
know. if he was
actually my
posting the
internet. It's
long
actually
one, or if he was posting the 13-page or the shorter one, the one that he actually presented to
13-page
us.
one.
Okay.
That
If
one
we-
may be the one that that's on the website. I haven't looked, to be perfectly honest, because I have it.
There's
Yeah,
a 27-page presentation from the town council meeting on there, on the town
Perfect.
manager.
Yeah, then he put the long one on there.
They're going to review this on Tuesday night, correct? And looking to get a vote on it?
Yeah, so what happened is we
No, we're ready
he
to vote on
presented Yeah, he presented it to us. Some people asked the questions on the floor, but for the most part, we all just sent them our questions because it would have actually taken hours if we just did them all there, and they need to prepare the answers anyway. So we'll get another presentation, and I think all of our answers, I think Tuesday.
Are they going to vote on it Tuesday, Gina?
I haven't seen the agenda.
Okay.
I assume that if we all give it our blessing, it might be, but I'm not in leadership, so I don't see the agenda till tomorrow.
Now, the issue was that they have an ambitious timeline, and if they don't get it approved pretty quick, it's not going to make it.
Yeah, I mean, it's an ambitious timeline in general, but they're really only focused on a couple of projects, which is really good. I mean, they're not really even talking about doing anything with the Jablonski. They were talking about stuff that we can do within referendum limits.
Right.
But yeah, it is, it's pretty aggressive,
We
ambitious.
got to start somewhere. So this is a great start. So.
They did a great job. They really did.
All right, so Donna did log off. I think she's going to try to log back in. Maybe that's her now. If we want, let's go back to H because Scott's on now. Scott, do you have any joint facility comment?
I've been sharing our agenda. I've been sharing the projects that we've been working on, and also forwarding messages that are coming from the town manager, because those things coincided with our project, because we had our this presentation from the town council last week. So that was something else that we had linked to, so people could, dig into it on their own.
Okay, good. Thank you. So with that, Jeff, do we have to do anything with these, this email you sent us, or was that just for our information?
I believe Chris said we'd have to approve them because they're different values. Chris, if you're still on, if you can comment to that. Or Samantha, I see their boxes on the screen still. But they're actually different change orders from the last ones.
I'm sorry, say that again.
The change orders, do we need to, we approve these tonight or?
Yeah, change order 1 and the requisition number 2, you've got to approve tonight.
All right, so let me try to pull them up. Where the heck are they? You just sent them, why aren't they here? So if anybody has a copy of them. Oh, maybe it's in here.
Yeah, I
Hold
got
on.
one in front. I got one in front of me, Walter, on the phone.
All right, so can you read them for the record, and then we'll just make a motion to approve them?
Okay, the one, change order number 1 I'm looking at, it has it's dated January 14, 21. And this change order, the total value is 19,840. That correct, Chris?
Sorry, say that again. It was all broken up.
Yeah, I'm just reading the change order. Change order 1 dated January 14, 21. The value is 19,840.
Correct.
That's what we need to approve.
Yes.
All right, so a motion, do I have a motion for that?
So
I'll make
moved.
the motion, Walter.
Motion by Doug, seconded by Tim.
Yep.
Any discussion?
What is that change order for? What company?
For Henry Barnard Phase 3.
Right. So there was one line item on there that was $29,000 for the repair work to the chimneys at Barnard, and then there was a credit of $5,000 for some plumbing work that was never done. It was an allowance that was in the bid package, and then there was also another line item on there for a $5,000 credit for
the gas line.
Right, which we did not have to do. So that was
The gas
unused.
line.
Right. So
Yeah,
we're crediting the two unused allowances back.
Yeah, Gina, it was 29,840 was the change order, and then there was 2 credits for $10,000.
Okay, thank you.
All right, so all in favor?
Aye.
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 Tina LeBlanc
Aye.
says aye.
Tina says aye. Donna, I guess will be an aye.
Yes, I, Tina.
And Scott said aye.
Yes, it was Tina that said aye, and
Yeah.
so did I.
And Donna's still,
Donna's back.
Is this a motion to add it to the agenda first and then?
no, it's already on, it's already on.
It's on the agenda.
Yes, you had a
Oh, I must have the wrong
motion to
agenda. I
add to the
didn't see it.
agenda.
No, you're right. This is a motion to add it to the agenda. So now I need a motion to accept it. Moved by
Motion
Mr.
by Tina
Neville,
LeBlanc.
So moved.
motion by Tina, seconded by Tim. So all in favor for accepting it?
Tina
Aye.
LeBlanc says aye.
Aye.
I see eyes all over. All right, so now we have the other change order. Doug, can you read that one?
Yeah, the second one is JHS Restoration, application number 2, dated October 16th, 2020. And it has a total value, this requisition value is $47,490.73, 47,490.73.
So that's a motion to add it to the agenda.
Yep.
Second by Tim.
Yeah.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Scott, aye.
Yep, Scott says
Tina
aye.
says aye.
Tina says aye. All right, so now,
What was the date on that again? October 6th?
October 16th, 2020.
Okay, thank you.
okay, and now I need a motion to accept this application.
So moved.
Moved by Mr. Neville,
Second.
seconded by Doug. All in favor?
Aye.
Can we
Aye.
get, well,
Go ahead, Don, I'm sorry.
you know,
We're still losing you,
Say
Don.
that again.
we'll get those to you then, Ted.
All right, Jeff, does Donna have to sign off on these?
Yes, so
Yes.
Chris is gonna give me the live copies, and once I get all the live copies, I'll drop them off for probably at town hall for Donna to sign.
Okie dokie.
Okay, now on this, hey, Walter, on this,
go ahead.
there'll still be a balance of 14,748, which is retainage. So that'll be probably the last billing, right, Jeff? At some point?
Yes, yeah, that'll be the final bill once they put the pipe extension on for the boiler.
So application 3 should finish it up.
Correct.
All right.
While we're on the subject, and Scott brought it up at the last meeting, the leak that we had, was that resolved?
Yes, it was unrelated to the roof, actually. It was, well, I mean, still the roof. It wasn't the membrane system. And it wasn't, it was the Rigolets. I mean, Tom probably knows the
Reglets.
Yeah. So they're little weepers on the masonry. We're getting horizontal rain. It was actually going through the
Oh, geez, really?
vents, and there's some silicone around some piping. We brought up our warranty specialist from the manufacturer anyways, and they worked with our staff to get it fixed.
Great news. Thank you.
No problem.
So now I gotta get the agenda back up. Oh, brother. So committee comments, I guess, is next on the agenda. Any committee comments? Sensing none. Our next meeting is on January 28th.
Yep.
Anything else before we adjourn?
I guess and I don't know if anybody can hear me. Can you hear me?
Yes, we
This
can.
time we can, yes.
Okay, want everybody to think about, do we want to look at referendum or just continue to do roofs the way we are? It's something for next meeting.
Agreed.
I agree with the idea of thinking about that. I think that is something that we should be pursuing. This is Scott.
Okay.
So
And also I want people
I'm
to
with you.
think about vestibules and windows, because I'd like somebody to champion that. I'm not going to champion that.
Donna, this is Scott. Is that something that you're not? Why do you say you're not going to champion it? Just so I'm clear.
Well, because I feel like I have the roof burden, and I feel like I need somebody else to really take up the fight for, and they have to work with the Gary Harrison and the public safety and, that joint safety committee. So it's something that I don't really want to take on. And I think that there needs to be somebody to do that, because I think it needs to be done. I mean,
Maybe that's something I could speak to you about, because as a Board of Education member that's on joint security and that believes that
That's
these
what
are
I'm
things
looking
that
for.
need to be implemented, if you could just bring me up to speed on that, maybe that's something that I could help with. If not personally, if you could at least bring me up to speed on it, I could, we could figure that out.
Okay, I will add it to the agenda for next meeting.
Thank
It'll be
you.
an agenda item, and we'll move forward with that.
Anything else?
Walter,
Yes, Tim, go ahead.
what time is the next meeting? Is it 5 or 6?
No, usually 6 o'clock is usually what works.
They've been at 6 for a while now.
Okay.
Motion to adjourn.
Good work.
Motion by Tim,
Second by Doug.
second by Doug. All in favor? Good night, everyone. Thank you very
Good night,
much.
everyone.
Have a good one.